Hey, this is Russ. Time for a medical update. Yep. I went to see my doctor on Friday, okay, and that was simply for a standard physical. Okay, now this is considered an annual physical, but I've been known to skip a year every now and then. Yeah, I think I skipped a year. I think this may have been 2 years since the last time I actually saw my doctor. So he didn't realize I had the knee replacement because, of course, they don't look at your charts unless you're going in, right? So I came in with my cane, and typically I don't really need it, but I used it because I knew I had to climb up to the second floor. I didn't take the elevator. I made the effort to actually go up those steps and come down the steps too. Okay, and having the cane is a little easier for me to go up and down steps, so that's why I had it with me. And so I explained to him the problems I had had with the knee. He asked me who the surgeon was, and of course he knows my surgeon as well because they golf together. So he asked me if he messed up, and I said, no, it's just the scar tissues. That's what's holding me back from extending, and my flexion was bad because of it too. So overall, I told him I was getting better, so he was happy with that. Okay, but I did tell him too that the doctors who, especially the anesthesiologists, every time I went in for MUAs and also for the surgery, they all kind of considered me diabetic. Okay, because on the chart it said I was diabetic, but I'm not. All right. And the reason is because he had put down a couple years ago that I was pre-diabetic because my numbers were very close to the edge of being diabetic. Now, this time around, he looked at it and he says, actually, you were diabetic. Now, he didn't do anything about it. And I think the reason is because he knows me. I wouldn't take the medication even if he gave it to me. I told him at that time, says, give me some time. I'm going to drop the weight and I'm going to drop everything. And I did. I dropped 50 pounds. And a couple years before that, I dropped 50 pounds, but gained it back. So he knows that I can do it. And even though my weight is still higher than it should be, I'm going to be working on that again. And I told him that I was hoping to do 20 to 25 pounds by February. And I told you guys that too, right? So how am I doing with that? Let me give you an update on that. Yeah, nothing. I haven't lost anything. Now, my intention was lose some weight before Thanksgiving time and work it through. But yeah, that didn't happen. Yeah, but I gave myself to end of February, so I still have some time. Realistically, can I do 25 pounds at this point? Nah, it's not going to happen. Can I do 20? Maybe. Realistically, I would say 10 to 15 at this point by February. We'll see. We got some time. Okay. So how did the rest of the thing go? Well, the one thing that I like this time is that maybe because of the COVID-19 situations, they asked you to go in for your blood test before your physical. Now, I think they should do that all the time. It's much better because when you go in for your physical, you and your doctor have something to talk about because you already know what your blood test is, right? In the past, you'd go in for the physical and then he would say, go get your blood checked. Then he'd have to call you and tell you what your numbers are, okay? Much better than person to talk about it. So I went in a week before the physical and got it done. And I knew what my numbers were because, it's all online now. So I looked it up and I looked at my past history. And my doctor said these numbers was the best I have ever had ever since going to him as my physical my physical doctor. What do they call that? Your primary doctor. Okay. So he says, this is the best numbers you've ever had. And I don't know how long I've been going to him. Oh, I think over 10 years, I think, something like that. So he was shocked. He says, you are doing really good. He says, what are you doing to make this thing so much better? Because my weight is still high, but it is lower than when I first originally saw him. It's down at least 50 pounds, right? So I said, well, I don't eat a whole lot of prepared foods. It's actually true. Okay, I cook pretty much everything that we do. And here's an interesting fact. My wife and I cook separately. All right, and here's why we do this. Okay, it's not that she doesn't want to cook for me or I don't want to cook for her. Is we found that for each of our own diets, if we cook our own, then we get what we need to get. And we eat what we like to eat then too. Okay, so she cooks for herself, I cook for myself, and by the way, she's lost weight too, and she's not overweight. Okay, she's actually pretty normal, but she's lost weight, so she's about the weight she was when we first got married. Yeah. And she was, like I said, she was not overweight. So even just a little bit of whatever losses just she has done, you can see it in her. You know, her clothes don't fit her anymore. It's back down to what she used to be. So she's done really well. So for me, because I'm cooking my own stuff, I don't eat a lot of prepared things. So in other words, prepackaged things. When we go grocery shopping, or when I go grocery shopping, I should say, because I usually do it for both of us. And when I go grocery shopping, I just do the outer part of the grocery store. You know what I'm talking about? That would be the produce section, the meat section, and then out the door. So all that stuff in the middle aisles, yeah, I don't buy any of that stuff. So you might say, well, you're being deprived from all the good things that are available, right? No, that's really what kept my results better. Okay, because I cook everything. So I'm cooking meats, and I do eat a lot of meat, I will admit, more so than anything else. But I do have vegetables too, and fruits as well. But yeah, you won't see me with cans of stuff. You won't see me. Okay, all right, I will admit, every now and then I'll have some potato chips, or I may have some cookies, or my wife might make some cookies for friends and family, and I'll have some of that. But really, on the long run, yeah, we don't eat a lot of prepared things. Yeah, I don't buy any of that stuff. I don't drink soda anymore. Okay, I admit every now and then I do. Yesterday I had a can of Coke. Okay, so but that's few and far between. So on the long run, by cutting all that stuff out, my numbers are good. Okay, now my blood pressure could be better. All right, the upper number is higher, and the lower number is normal. So I think the way we can actually help this is exercise. The more exercise, the more active you are, your blood pressure is going to go down. And I know that my activity levels have always been very poor for probably last 10 years since the knee things have been there. So the only way for me to improve that part of it would be to exercise more. Okay. But overall, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. And somebody asked me about my trigger finger thing. Okay, you see, I still have my homemade splint on here. Yeah, there's not much that can be done about that. I talked to him about it, and he said that yeah, there's really not a whole lot you can do other than a surgery thing. He did mention there's an injection thing too. Kind of make it smoother coming there, so it doesn't pop like that. But yeah, there's nothing they really can do about it. So he says, if you find it in the evenings, because usually at night, I tend to, if I wake up, my finger's slightly bent and it's hard to get it back straight. So I sleep with this thing on. During the day, I might not use this, so it is a little stiffer than it should be. But just so I don't bump it, I kind of wear the splint and things. Will it affect my musical abilities? Maybe a little bit. But I can play keyboards and I can play guitar still with it. I can still do fingerstyle playing on my guitar. But, the normal bending all the way and popping it back out, yeah, it's kind of a pain. And I feel it. It does have a little bit of pain when I do it. So not much that can be done there. So I just wanted to update you on that. And I did ask him about some pain that I had along the side of my knee. Okay, and this is one thing that I never talked about. Yeah, so a little bit of knee info here. Now, we've heard other people have said that the IT band is the area that they have problems with. Okay, if you don't know where it is, look it up on a medical chart. Okay, I'll try to put one up here. There's so much of these Google images. I know that they're probably not ones that I should really put up there, but I'll put it up there real quickly for you so you can kind of see. There's an IT band thing, and then there's a hamstring thing. And a lot of people mention that their IT band hurts when they're working their knee, okay? And I wasn't really sure if my pain was the IT band or the hamstring. So I asked my doctor, what is this part that I'm feeling here? And he says, that's your hamstring. So my pain is in the hamstrings. Yeah, I had this pain really from the start, since the knee replacement thing, and ever since working it where the therapists are pushing on it, and I'm using the jazz units and stuff like that, and compressing that thing, it causes my hamstring to hurt a little bit, and that's right on the outer side by the knee. Okay, so it's not way up, it's not way down or anything like that. It's literally right next to it. You can, if you put your hand next, if this was your knee and you put your hand next to this thing here, you can feel this little band, okay, right next to your knee. That's what usually gives me some pain. It's not pain now, but it was back then, especially when the therapist was pushing and all that kind of stuff, and we're doing things like that. I would feel that more. I don't think my problem has ever been the IT band. It's always been the hamstring. Yeah. So I don't know why that is. If anyone knows, let me know. Put a comment below. Let me know if you have that issue or if you've heard of people with this issue as well. So he confirmed that. All right, one last thing, and then we'll call it a day here. I have some issue with eczema on your skin, right? And this happens every year during the winter months. A lot of people have this. You know, it's drier, right? The forced air heating dries it all out. And then my skin, you know, especially around my joints and stuff like that, they're looking pretty bad. And even around my thumb and stuff like that, the skin tends to crack a little bit because it's so dry. So I asked him for something to fix that. So he prescribed me this stuff here. This is, let me see if I can pronounce this, betamethasone dipropionate cream, USP, 45 grams worth. So, anyways, standard stuff. I mean, it's not over the counter stuff. You need a prescription to get this, and so I started putting that on, and it seems to have helped. Yeah, it seems less dried out and stuff. You know, prior to that, I was just using what's this stuff called? Aveeno, Aveeno, standard lotion stuff, right? And I put this on too all over the place because I'm everywhere else is all dry too. So. You need something more powerful than this if you have the eczema thing going on. So this stuff is what he recommended that I get, okay? With my drug card, it was like $8, something like that, with the discounts. So anyways, and even over here, you can see it's a little red here. That's because I scratched it, right, this morning. So now I got this little red mark. And then I kept thinking, okay, you know, you're on video now. You should wear makeup or something. Hide that, right? A little concealer thing. Nah, we're not going to do that. I am what I am. Anyways, if you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. We're very close now. Yeah, we're less than 50 people to hit that 1,000. Yeah, maybe we'll do it by the end of the year. I don't think so. But, hey, surprise me. I'll talk to you guys next time.